Hey, what's your name and where you from?
My name's Cle Paige. I just came back here Halloween 2025. I come back to see my kids and tell them that their dad was getting ready to probably pass away because
Mm.
I had 3 heart attacks and a stroke.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that,
That's
man.
caused from my party. I
Okay.
thought I was indispensable, and it doesn't work that way. When God comes knocking, you better slow down.
Right, right, right,
Yeah, I had a stroke, 3 heart attacks. I wish I would have had him in my life more as a
right.
kid. I was raised with 10 kids, my brothers, 4 sisters. I had to fight for affection from my mom, but I was a Shriner's kid.
Hmm.
This is caused from Agent Orange.
Right, right,
My old man was exposed to it. It jumps generations in my family where his birth defects and kids. I'm ASC certified master tech. I worked for Midas and Meineke all over Houston for 25 years. I
Okay.
moved here because it's a better place to raise my kids. My
Right.
kids went to college here. They went to high school here, graduated. Just me and my ex-wife don't get along.
Hmm.
But now I'm trying to retire and get off the streets and enjoy the rest of my life.
Right. I feel you on that. Okay. How old are you, man?
I'll be 61 tomorrow.
61 tomorrow. Okay,
My
okay.
birthday.
So are you homeless?
Yes, sir. I've been for before the pandemic started.
Okay, so basically 2020, that's when it started. Okay.
Yeah, before that.
Oh, before that.
Yeah,
Okay.
about 2018.
Okay, okay.
I was living with my brothers, and they thought that I should give up all my money while they go party and drink on theirs, and they'd come get money from me and tell me they need more money to pay bills. I wasn't saying that, but I was always out scrapping to make ends meet.
Right.
And I had to quit doing that because the city I was living in, Pasadena, they thought I was going around getting people's identities. I don't play with plastic. I don't play with people's identities.
Right.
My thing was drugs and guns and money. And
Okay.
that was how I took care of my family. I moved here. I made a promise to my wife I wouldn't get into the drug game, but somebody flashed me money. And I said, okay. So I got into it and I ended up going to prison for 10 years for manufacturing.
Mm.
But I paid my dues. My kids got a house to live in because that's what I was doing.
Right.
Paying off my house. Because I went to Desert Storm with my ex-wife. She come back pregnant with my son and had lupus. I went over there and became a U.S. contractor building their blown up stuff back together before they found someplace over here to get the parts for it, carbon fiber.
Okay.
And after that happened, I just came back here, sold all my hot rods down in Texas. That's what I do. I get into the geometrics of race cars and trucks.
Right.
I make something go 123 miles an hour up to 300.
Okay, okay. Okay, how would you say your childhood was growing up?
It was good. I had to fight amongst my siblings, but man, I didn't think I'd live longer than them.
Mm.
My younger siblings passed away before I did.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry
And
to hear that.
Mom and all of it. That's why I come back up here, because all my people down there south, East Texas, if anybody told me they was moving there, I'd tell them not to.
Right.
The ground and the air is contaminated with chemicals.
Mm.
None of my people, when I moved there in the early 80s, there was no health problems. Didn't have nothing wrong with it. I
Mm.
lived down there all that time, going back and forth from here to Texas, and being around all them chemical plants, we tend to get sick.
Right.
And so all my people, they started dying. I came back up here to see my kids and tell them, hey, you know, help take care of your man while I'm still kicking.
Right.
Because I don't want to go back to that again. And I quit doing drugs, I quit drinking. I'm diabetic, I quit drinking in 2015. I bet my dying sister-in-law, she had stage 4 cancer. And I bet her, I said I was going to quit. She told me, That's a lie. I said, okay, I'll meet you at Hell's Gate with my hellhound. But I quit because every time I drink, I can't feel my legs. It gives me more problems.
Right.
Quit doing the drugs because that's what the doctor told me clogged my left artery.
Oh man,
Yeah,
sorry
to
to hear
clean
that.
it out. I went to 2 different hospitals. The second one, I didn't know I was going to end up having a heart attack because I haven't had a driver's license in 30 years. I'm fixed to get another one. And everything. I had to go take care of 30 tickets that I had. And the judge told me, this is a lot of money. I said, yeah, I know that, but it's before the pandemic started. And they pulled me over, but they never told me that I had to come to jail to take care of them.
Right.
So I went and took care of them, and when I got, she told me case dismissed, because there's no way you can pay all this off. I said, there ain't no way. I had to stop my Social Security. So as soon as they let me out, I spent one night in jail, got out. As soon as I walked out the door, started dragging my backpack, or not my backpack, but my long bag. I fell out and had a heart attack, woke up in the hospital. They tell me I had 85% of the oxygen in my brain. That's what caused my stroke. But it was the drugs, the drinking, and everything that I've been doing all my life.
Right.
And I thought I was indispensable. Never die. I live forever, like it says in the Bible.
Right. Okay, let me ask you this. Did you have both parents growing up?
No. My dad was, my mom could have lived with my dad, but she chased my stepdad around. All right, when I go to school or something, or we moved to a neighborhood, I'd always come home because my other sibling, the older one, was telling me to pack my stuff. I said, why? Because we're moving. She was chasing my stepdad. She made more money, but she couldn't understand PTSD because my old man was a POW.
Right.
And Korean Vietnam War.
Okay.
And she couldn't understand it. And she quit drinking because she had 10 kids. And people told her that if she didn't quit drinking, they were going to take one of her kids away. And I said, man, that's crazy. Nowadays, if you can tell them you don't want 10 kids, they look at you like you're nuts.
Facts.
Because of the economy.
Facts. All right, let me ask you this. Did you feel love growing up?
Yeah, my mom loved me unconditionally.
Okay.
I think I was one of her favorite children because I was the only one she ever bought a vehicle for. She bought me a pickup truck, and the rest of them got jealous, started fights and everything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you learn way too early as a kid?
Drugs, alcohol.
Mm.
Because I had older siblings teaching me how to drink, how to smoke weed. And people in school, if they said anything about it, I just blew it off. I go home and get high with my brothers.
Right.
Or get drunk with them.
Okay. So, who would you say failed you when you were young?
My dad.
Your dad.
Yep. Because I only met him 3 times in my whole life. When I was 7 years old, I was in the hospital. And he brought me a pack of gum for my birthday. Then I met him. Me and my younger brother went to his house. I was driving a '69 Mustang and asked him to buy it. He owned an RV park and a cab company in a small town of Ottawa, Kansas. And my stepmother-in-law, mother-in-law, she told him no, don't buy him shit. Because she wanted the money.
Right.
When my dad died, I didn't even dispute money or nothing. I didn't care because he was never around. He didn't buy me. My mom was my mom and my dad.
Right. Right. Okay. What scared you the most growing up?
Being found dead. Because I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, and there was the only gangs that I was affiliated with was people in this high school. We smoked weed and everything. It ain't like it is now. A kid coming to school will shoot his fellow school students or his teachers.
Right.
you didn't hear such things. It was either fight your fist, get your ass kicked, or you was shunned away. It's like 50. When I grew up, I was raised in the mid 60s, early 70s, but it still had the greasers and the fads where they'd be fighting out in the street with knives and all that. That's all the games you seen.
Right, right. Okay. Who were you as a younger adult before drugs?
I was wanting to be a cop, but it never happened because I got busted with a quarter pound of weed in my locker. Before I even was able to go to Iraq, Iran, my old lady there, airport was the first time they tried the budget system in Harry Cummings. I went over there, I had to get papers signed by a judge. And I knew one that knew me since I was 19 years old. He signed it and said, don't go over there and get no trouble. I said, I ain't. I'm going over to do work. I watched Kuwait burn for 6 months. I said, the only thing I liked about over there was the gold and silver coins from Kuwait. We owned Kuwait.
What did you blame yourself for as a kid?
Growing up too fast. I wasn't able to be a kid. I had to take care of my younger siblings. Because my older ones, they moved off to be their own, on their own, and start their own families.
Right, right.
But when I grew up at an early age to take care of my younger siblings and help my mom.
Okay, that's what's
So
up.
when the older ones come around, they left cars, I fixed them and sold them. For my mom, I gave them the money.
Okay, that's cool.
Yep. Because she said she got yelled at by the city to get rid of the junk cars out of the yard. I said, well, they're not mine. She says, well, either fix them or call the junkyard. So I fixed them and sold them. Then when my older brothers come back, where's my car? Go ask mom. And don't ask her for no money, because you already owe her money.
Right. Okay, where do you sleep most nights?
All over, because I can't stand people on the street. Youngsters that I call kids.
Right.
Ranging from the age of 18 to 30 years old. You think what's hands-on is what you got in your hand.
Right, right.
See what they can get for what you're wearing, your clothes or whatever, and steal it. Or go steal something out of your yard to supply themselves with goods. See, in the last 20 years, I say, because when I was on parole here, I lived out in the woods, had no problem, got on, had a pager. My parole officer was cool about it, and I stayed out there for 3.5 years with wild animals and all. And that's before they moved the highway.
Right, right, okay.
And, they helped the homeless here. You didn't know where to go get food, clothing, or something to eat, and a place to lay your head. You weren't from here.
Okay. What do people misunderstand about you the most?
They judge me by my appearance. If I go into a place with a backpack on, riding a bicycle, they judge me as homeless. They don't want me in their business, or they don't want me affiliated with their business. But if I go in and pay cash, oh, church, come on in.
Right.
See, there's no kindness, there's no helping one another, like it says in the Bible.
Right.
People are out for themselves. They're not looking at religion or how to help their fellow man. They're only out to make what they can.
Right, I understand that.
Survival of the fittest. If there's ever another war on this continent.
Right.
If
Okay.
it happens before I pass, I don't know. If it happens after, I hope God has his hand in it, because this generation of children, they don't give a damn about themselves.
Hey, trust me, I'm already knowing, man.
Our government can't say, well, we gave up on the millennial children. That's why there's crime. That's why there's drugs.
Right.
They think that the homeless are their problem with the drugs and the cartel. I don't think so.
Right.
It's full of shit because what do you call it? I ain't never heard of a president in my grown years that I've been walking this planet talk about being homeless is against the law. show me the amendment clause or the Constitution where it says that.
Right. That
The
is
only
kind of
way
crazy.
that it says it's against the law is because they put it into words, own words,
Right.
move it around to make it look good. They only pertain to wanting to help somebody when their reputation's involved, or they're trying to outdo somebody else.
Right.
And that's the truth. That's what I see. And people just are hating. Like I can go on this from this side of town, over by the hospital, on Boulder, over by the Olympic Center.
Mm-hmm.
People over there treat you differently. They're. I don't ask people for money to pay in because they stopped my Social Security.
Right.
Because I had a crooked ass lawyer that didn't give them my medical papers. So they stopped it from 2019 to now.
Wow.
And they owe me some money.
They sure do.
I'm gonna buy me an RV. I ain't gonna try to rent no place. Unless I have to park it somewhere, or I ain't gonna buy no property because I ain't gonna be around here very much longer. Hopefully until 100.
Right.
Because he brought me back, let me walk.
Right.
4 more times, man. And every time I went towards the light, told me it's not my time. I thought it was my mom saying it, or one of my brothers. No, it was God telling me.
Facts.
Turn your ass back around. It's not ready yet.
Facts.
Because there's a reason why I'm still here. ASC certified master tech. I teach people how to work on cars, how to take them apart, how to diagnose them. But I can't get a job if I try. People look at me as I'm a threat.
Right.
To them, or if I take and show them up, they're gonna lose their job. Now my mom used to tell me, "Oh, they wouldn't hire me because of my age." I said, "What?" I said, "Oh, you're lying." It's the truth because I went and tried it, and they looked at me like, "You're gonna try to take my job." No,
Okay.
I have all this experience because that's all I've worked around when I was a kid. Watched my brothers tear their hot rods up, and then I ended up learning how to fix them and repair them. What I did, they always come to me. Like, you're gonna pay me. The only car I work on is mom's and my own and my girlfriend. Nobody else. My wife, my kids, and that's it. Now I don't even have anything to do with my ex-wife because my kids are pissed off at me because I don't talk to her. Well, she's married to this another guy. Why should I get involved? My kids are 30 and 29 years old, and both of them went to college, graduated. My daughter works for the NCIS, the naval people.
Okay.
As a scientist, and my son's an engineer.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I'm glad. I'm proud of both of them. Last time I talked to them was 2 years ago, and that was when they sold the house. When I come here, I went up and knocked on the door, and a Hindu lady walked up. I was getting ready to give her a hug. I thought she was my daughter first, and she said, "Oh no, they haven't lived here in 2 years. They sold us the house." The only thing I think is my kids sold the house to take care of their mom.
What did you lose that still hurts you to this day?
My kids and I didn't get to watch them grow up because I was locked up. When I did get out, she wouldn't let me see them. And she holds a grudge. Like if I'm in her vicinity, it's not talking politely or controlling her like parents are supposed to. She wants to fight, argue. I turn my back and walk away because I seen all that shit growing up as a kid. My brothers beating up their wives, beating up their girlfriend.
Right.
If I had a disagreement with her, I'd leave. That would get under her skin, and all she would do is bitch more. But she was born with a silver spoon. Her dad worked for Colgate Palmolive out of New York, and her mom was a retired teacher.
Okay.
My wife, she was good with kids, but she likes to keep up with the Joneses.
Right.
Dad spent a lot of money, and she spent a lot of my money. I made sure that my kids got taken care of first.
Okay. Let me ask you this: is there a moment you wish you could redo?
Yeah, turn back time.
Turn back time.
23 years old. That's when I first got married to my my ex-wife, and everything could be different. Because, or if I could turn back time, I'd go back before I started doing drugs. I would never done. I would have started investing my money into property, real
Right.
estate, because that's where it's going.
Facts.
That
Facts.
and e-batteries. But I think that we're going to realize going electric is going to turn this planet into a giant magnet, and we're going to pollute our waters. Because it's in the Bible. We're going to pollute our waters by putting a 3,000-pound battery up under a vehicle and drive it on the road, and people are going to get wrecked. Where's all that battery acid going? In our drains, our drinking water. Same thing with the railroad. You walk down the railroad tracks and you'll see spikes, plates, railroad track pieces. They're just laying there decaying and rusting away. But they say it's not going to go into the water. No, it goes into the water, and that's what you're drinking. That's why people buy bottled water and take it home.
Right.
Because there's places that I've been down there in Texas that you don't want to drink the water. I mean, you probably want to take a bath in it.
Thanks.
Because I've seen fish with 3 eyes. I lived in Baytown, Texas, and I worked there. And the people on them ships who come up the ship channel, they throw all their medical supplies into the water. And people had customers ask me, "Is it okay to fish back?" Yeah, if you want to catch shad or crab, I wouldn't eat the fish because all the Koreans that lived around there and the Asians, they all moved away because they were dying from cancer. They had water down there. They had built a vault and put asbestos in it over in the early 50s, maybe early 30s, and it stayed underwater. And then they found out that it was cracked and it was leaking into the water. And people couldn't believe it. And I said, yeah, why do you think there's no Asians here? There's no more, in Kima Bay, there's no more fish cannery there that they worked for. I said, they all moved and went back home to die.
What scares you the most about the future?
About the future is what's going to happen after I'm gone or before. And I don't want to be out on the street. I want them to finally be frozen or dead because I'm still liable for heart attacks and stroke. And if I would have knew all this when I was younger, I would have never kept going. But I kept going because, like I said, I was indispensable. I could live forever like it is in the Bible. They lived to be 800 years old, 1,000 years old. How come man can't do it now? Because we're putting man-made chemicals into our bodies.
What's something good about you that people don't see?
My knowledge. I know a lot about history, our history. It took me, 6 years to get a GED while I was locked up. But I spent my time, instead of with gangs and everything, I spent my time to take care of myself.
Right.
Got my GED. I signed up for because I was in prison for a long time. I signed up for my Social Security before I got out. I signed up for getting into college with my GED. I went to Pike Street College for my associate's degree in automotives.
Okay.
I got it. They tell me, it'll take 4 years. I got it in 2 because of my experience.
That's cool.
I got over 45 years working with automotives, and I can teach anybody how to do it. If you know how to take a puzzle and put it together or take it apart, and you can do it on a car.
What's one thing you want the people that's watching this to understand about you?
That don't judge a book by its cover. Ask if you want to know something about somebody. Don't put yourself out there to be in their business. Tend to your own.
Right. Okay.
And be kind to your fellow man. Help them out if they need help. Don't sit there and wait till it pertains to you to make yourself look better.
Right.
Because it doesn't work. God's not going to let you in. Because you got to pass the 3 gates before you get to heaven. Even the last one, you got to be able to be unclean and be able to be around him. If not, there's one angel that's going to get rid of you. And all the bad shit that I've done, being affiliated with gangs and all that shit growing up, and people that I knew while I was locked up. I wish I could have turned back away from all that shit and said no. And I have. When I had kids, I quit doing drugs, everything. So my kids come out smart and everything.
Right.
And they would know the difference. Got 2 kids out of the deal, and I love my kids. But she took them away from me, turned them against me. She told them that, all right, when I come home from work, I have brake dust on me, which is asbestos. I have metal particles in my work clothes.
Right.
And I'd push them away before I'd give them a kiss and a hug, but I couldn't have them sitting in my lap, jumping in my lap. I wanted them not to be exposed to those kind of chemicals and everything else because it caused cancer.
Okay.
My old lady told them that I didn't love them because I got busted for manufacturing 10 years. But I did it for one reason, my children. So
Right.
they could have a home.
All right, one last question, man. What advice would you give someone walking in your shoes?
I tell them, if you're out here on the streets, get off the streets. There's no place to be. It's changed. The laws have changed. The people have changed. That's even regular people. They've changed because they were willing when I first moved back here. When I moved here, my house was being completed in 2000. The people were friendly. The Marion House was getting food from downtown from all the restaurants donated. They were feeding the people. There was no monotony between the homeless and the cops. If I would have knew that shit was going to rule the streets 30 years later, I would have never kept making it. I would have said, hell no, I can do without the money, and I'll find another way to make it do. Hell, that's the root of all evil. If I want to live a little longer, I got to.
Right.
And that scares me, dying. I don't like the feeling, and I don't want to go back through a stroke or a heart attack because that's like, when that happened, it felt like somebody was taking all my nerve endings and trying to pull them out through my fingers.
Right.
And the heart attack was like somebody put my heart in a box and was beating the hell out of me. And I said, no more. I'm still alive. I got 61 years behind me now.
Okay.
I didn't think I'd ever make it this far, but it surprised me.
Right. All right, man. I appreciate you, man, for your interview today. This is gonna conclude our questions for today, man. And I hope you have the rest of a good day, man.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, bro.